Alright, so today we are doing a fantasy draft, but for the first 15 picks of this draft, a wheel is going to decide what positions we can take. So, round one, let's spin this wheel before we look at what pick we get. Round one, we get middle linebacker. Not a big fan of that. Okay, so looking at this, we are going to have pick 5. That is very unfortunate for the position that we were given. But, you know, I think it's pretty obvious what we're going to take, and that's going to be the best linebacker in the NFL. We're going to take Fred Warner here. So he will be a great piece for our defense. Fred Warner, ranked 1 out of all linebackers, 27 X Factor, 97 overall. Can't ask for more with what we were given. Okay, now for round 2, we're going to spin the wheel, of course. And strong safety. Wow, we're going to have a great defense built up. All right, so looking at these strong safeties, these guys are all great. But he has X Factor, Superstar, X Factor. Let's look at Xavier McKinney, actually. Yeah. All right, yeah, we're going to take Kyle Hamilton. He's only 23, has Superstar X Factor, and will be a great piece for, hopefully, this entire rebuild. All right, heading into round 3. We are back at the wheel, spinning. And we're going to land on tight end. All right, yeah. Trey McBride, 24. Brock Bowers, 21. Yeah, we're going to go Brock Bowers because I'm pretty sure he is Superstar. So we're going to take him for that reason, and he's younger. All right, now in round 4, we're going to spin this wheel. And we're going to get running back. Okay, now in round 5, so we're 1/3 of the way done. We're going to spin this wheel, and we're going to get right tackle. See, I want to take Lane Johnson, but he's, I believe, 34 years old. I'm going to check out these guys. Yeah, I'm going to go Zach Tom. I know he's not near as good as Lane Johnson, but he's a lot younger, and we can hope that he develops good. Don't get me wrong, I love Lane Johnson, but he's just too old to do a rebuild with. Now we are in round 6, spinning the wheel. Dang it. Alright. Alright, looking at all these guys, we're just going to take Kyle Juszczyk, get the best fullback in the league. You know, that's not exactly what I was hoping for. That sucks, but we're just going to have to get back to spinning and try and get this team better. And I mean, I guess another blocker for Bijan. Alright, so spinning this again. So round 7 is where we land QB. Alright. I think we're going to take Will Levis. He's the best, youngest guy there. You know, strong arm. Hopefully we can get some memes out of him for ourselves. Back to the wheel after 2 not great spins. I know we got quarterback, but just at a terrible time. So round 8, spinning again. And we land on wide receiver. Yeah, I'm looking at these guys, and yeah. All right, T. Higgins is going to be the pick here. T. Higgins is great. We're surrounding Will Levis very well here. You know, we got Bijan Robinson, Brock Bowers, and the addition of T. Higgins. That's good for this offense. So we get fullback in 1 round. And now in round 9, we get kicker. Just give me Brandon Aubrey. Best kicker in the NFL. Might as well. Just give him to me. Just give him to God. Well, I guess I really did do this to myself because this wheel is not being favorable at all. So spinning it. We're going to get right end. Okay. Right end. Looking at these guys. A lot of old guys. For sure, a lot of old guys. Ooh, Latu. I think this is gonna be the play. We're gonna go ahead and take Latu here. He's not the best guy, but he's young and he's still good, so he should be able to help us perform well. Back to the wheel in round 11, so we're getting close to the end. We're spinning it. Hopefully, we get some more offensive, defensive lines, some trenches. I would like a pass rush, guys, so we might go Derek Hall. I'm a big fan of DeMarvion Overshone. But we're going to go Drew Tranquil. Get a vet. He's a pass coverage guy, so we might put him at middle linebacker. We'll see. All right, now getting very close to the end. Spinning it in round 12. All right, just my luck. Wow, this wheel does not want us to succeed. Same thing. Just give me the best punter. Give me AJ Cole. And we're just gonna skip right over that. All right, hopefully we go on to get some better luck here. Spinning again. And we are going to land right tackle again. All right, who's big? 6'8", 340. Put him at left tackle because we already got Zach Tom. All right. Only one wheel spin after this. Round 14 spinning. We get DV. That's good. We did need that. Might be a little late, but still needed it nonetheless. Don't love our options. Maybe there's a young guy we can look to grab. Ooh, yep. Yep, we're going to take Terry and Arnold. All right, so let's make our final spin for this draft. And we get left end. Okay, I'm not mad at that. That's a good way to end it. Get a nice little pass rusher to go along with our other defensive end. Christian Barmore, 25, star dev. Zach Sealer is 28, star dev, 80 overall. Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a overall hit, but we're going to get the big man. 6'5", 310, run stopper. Star dev, 78 overall. All right, that's going to be the last pick of our draft. Not going to lie, I don't really remember who we got, but let's sim to the end, see what the CPU does, and try and win a Super Bowl. All right, out of the draft, we have a 83 overall offense, defense, and just overall team. All right, so let's check out this lineup. Okay. They got us Jawan Jennings. That's good for sure. Tim Patrick, Alan Lazard, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Alexander Madison behind Bijan. So we have a good supporting cast for Will Levis. Gonna have to work on this interior offensive line a lot. Defensively, we got our picks: Drew Tranquil, Fred Warner, Kyle Hamilton, Latu, Christian Barmore, Terry Arnold. And they got us Rashawn Jenkins, Riley Moss, white boy at corner. Can never be mad at that. You know, overall, this isn't that bad of a team. And then, of course, superstar Brandon Aubrey and the best punter in the NFL, AJ Cole, because why not? Let's get to the midseason and see what we're looking like. We're here at week 8. We are 3-4. That's about what I expected. About where I thought we'd be. Thought we'd be pretty mid. Will Levis at the midseason has 1,250 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 picks. So he's throwing touchdowns, not yards. Bijan Robinson, 107 attempts, 470 yards, 4.4 per carry. That's pretty good. 2 touchdowns. He did fumble once. I can't be mad at that. Will Levis getting his little take in the run game. Receiving, Jawan Jennings has more yards than T. Higgins. They have the same receptions. Oh, T. Higgins has 5 touchdowns. That's pretty good. Blocking. Ooh. Alright. So Zach Tom has allowed 6 sacks. That's bad. Royce Newman allowing 4 at guard. That's bad. 3 from Amarius Mims. 3 from Juice Scruggs. And 3 from Ricky Stromberg. So we definitely need to improve our interior. That's for sure. Yeah. Defensively, 46 tackles for Drew Tranquil, 42 for Riley Moss, and 41 for Terrion Arnold. TFL is 9 from Latu, 7 from Barmore. Sacks, 5 sacks from Michael, 3.5 from Christian Barmore, 3 from Arnold, 1.5 from Drew, 1 from Latu, a sack from Terrion Arnold, because why not, and half a sack for Trevin Wallace and Riley Moss. Picks, we have 3 from Trevin Wallace, 2 for Terrion Arnold and Rashawn Jenkins, and then we have 1 for Tranquil, Riley Moss, Fred Warner, and Kyle Hamilton. All right, so let's get to the playoffs, see if we make the playoffs, 1, and yeah, finish this year out. All right, here at the end of the year, we went 7-10. Not what I was hoping for. Let's look at these stats, see. All right, so Will Levis, 3,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 17 picks. Ooh, he took 50 sacks. That's bad. 61% completion percentage. I think if we don't spin QB, we probably won't take one in free agency. We'll probably try and develop Will, because he's not doing terrible. Rushing the ball. Okay, I'm going to really hope that Bijan got hurt and they're not splitting carries with Alexander Madison. But anyway, Bijan, 750 yards, 4.6 a carry with 3 touchdowns. Alexander Madison, 432 yards, 3.2 a carry, and 4 touchdowns. Kyle Hughes-Jack got his little roll, 32 carries. Receiving, Jawan Jennings. Yeah, I did not expect Jawan to be better than T, but if he develops, he develops. Yeah, so Jawan Jennings has 832 yards and 8 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 810 and 6. Tim Patrick with 421 and 3. Brock Bowers with 358 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, so we're definitely going to switch up our playbook, something that uses some tight end more and a little more run game. Blocking wise, Zach Tom was terrible. Juice Scruggs was terrible. Royce Newman, terrible. Amarius Mims was okay. And Ricky Stromberg was pretty good. All right, defensively, this is what I was excited to see, but at the midseason, I wasn't very excited. I see something very nice over there. But tackles, Fred Warner with 108, 89 from Terrion Arnold, 85 from Drew Tranquil. 14 TFLs from Latu, 12 for Barmore, and 9 for Arnold. And then sacks. So Latu led us in sacks with 8. Arnold had 7.5, 6 for Christian Barmore, 5 for Michael Hoke, 4 for Tranquil, and then we get 1 from Arnold and Moss, and then half a sack from Trevin Wallace, Solomon Thomas, and Fred Warner. Now, picks. Kyle Hamilton with 5 picks. Terrion Arnold, Trevin Wallace, and Rashawn Jenkins with 3. And then we get 1 out of Drew Tranquil, Riley Moss, and Fred Warner. I'm not going to lie, I'm low-key disappointed in Fred Warner. I expected him to do more. Let's go to yearly awards. I'm sure we're not really up there for any. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Brock Bowers at 9. If we utilized him more, he probably could have won. So we get Latu at 2, Terrion Arnold at 3, and Trevin Wallace at 5, all for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. Of course, no Will Levis up here. D-line, Latu at 10. No linebackers. Kyle Hamilton at 3 for Best DB. And we get 8th for Best Kicker, if that means anything. All right, well, let's take this. Let's get into the offseason and see what we need to do to this team. All right, we have $163 million. We also have 21 people to resign. Brock, that's a lot of money. All right, we'll try and give him this. No. All right, but how much is a franchise tag? 15? Yes. Terrion Arnold doesn't want to come back. I'll give you a player-friendly deal too. Perfect. Bet. All right, so we get him for 6 years. Royce Newman. I'll try and sign him for depth. I know he sucked, but hopefully we'll replace him. And we're really gonna let all these guys go. I feel like 15 million for Brock Bowers is cheap because he wanted like 20. Probably gonna be no free agents here. There usually isn't. So first, let's go to what we really need: interior offensive line. I'll try and sign Christian Haynes. Try and get something. Have a replacement. And then we'll just do the same for right guard, because Ricky Stromberg was bad. I did see Jonathan Allen. And he's relatively big, so let's try and give him a nice little deal. And if we can get him, we're going to slide him in at our D tackle spot. Be player friendly. I don't like that, but we have a lot of money to spend. We're still not up there, so we'll just see if we get him. We'll just try and get Keyshawn Nixon. I know we don't really need depth, but might as well just get some just in case. So let's go to the draft. We'll see who we got out of that free agency. We still have a lot of money left over. All right, so right before the draft, looking at our team, we get Christian Haynes. Let's get in this draft and hope this wheel is better for us this time. And we'll probably only do the first 3 or 4 picks. But first time in a second, we get to pull the wheel back out, give this thing a spin. All right, corner. I think we're going to go with Michael Coakley. He's only 21, 6'3", ranked 12 in true value. All right, well, that's unfortunate. So we get a good player. He'll start for us. All right, so for round 2, pick 7 still. We're spinning. And we get center. Thankfully, we get center. That's a great thing. Hopefully, there's a good one here, though, because that's important. If we just get a bad center, it's not going to do much for us. All right, so the best center here is a day 3 projection. We're just going to take him. The rest are UDFAs. I mean, forgetting something we needed so bad just to get that is just not what we wanted. That's terrible. All right, so we're spinning again. Round 3, we're going to get left outside linebacker. Maybe we'll look for like a pass coverage one. Okay. A zone. Elite speed. Oh, he's a run stop. Okay. We're going to take him. He's the best one here. I looked at the rest of them. Ranked 82 in true value. Hidden dev. All right, well, we did the 3 rounds. Got some mid players. Some hopefully center we got to 64. The outside linebackers are 72, so I'm not too mad at that. It's not great, but let's get to the beginning of this season. And, of course, our goal here is to try and win a Super Bowl. Well, we didn't do as much as I was hoping for. We're probably going to be a little worse or around the same spot. Let's get to the midseason of this year and see how we're doing. All right, well, if you've made it this far, this is obviously my first video, so please consider liking and subscribing if you've enjoyed the video. Thank you. 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 picks. I believe that's 1 more pick, 2 less touchdowns, and 200-ish more yards. Bijan Robinson, 621 yards, 5.4 yards per carry, and 6 touchdowns at the midseason. That is great. And this time he doesn't have a fumble. Receiving, Jawan Jennings, still putting up the best numbers with 447 yards and 6 touchdowns. Allen Lazard has 380 yards and 1 touchdown, while T. Higgins has 353 and 2. Brock Bowers still has not much production, so we're gonna look at our playbook actually. Blocking Christian Haynes, you're bad. Zach Tom, probably gonna trade him right now actually. Good tackles from Tranquil, Fred Warner, and Riley Moss. TFL's 5 for Barmore, 5 for Michael Hoke. 3 sacks out of Latu, 2.5 for Drew, 1 for Michael, and then half a sack for Trevin Wallace. Fred Warner this year doing a lot better with 3 interceptions at the midseason, 1 for Riley Moss, Terrion Arnold, and Keyshawn Nixon. Oh shoot, Bijan actually leading the NFL with yards. And we're going to look to trade away Zach Tom. I don't even feel like I want to do this, but you know what? Let's just try. All right, well, we're trading away Zach Tom and replacing our entire interior offensive line. So for Zach Tom, we got Peter Skronsky, Jackson Powers Johnson, and Jordan Morgan. Didn't think that was going to work, but hey. All right, well, after that trade, we're going to go to the playoffs. All right, we made the playoffs 9-8. We're the 3rd playoff team in our division. The Cardinals went 14-3, and the Rams go 11-6. All right, so we are 9-8 in the wild card versus the Commanders. Before we see if we win that game, let's check stats. Will Levis. Okay, we might just have to keep sticking with Will. He may not be good, but like he's improving for sure. 3,680 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 picks, 65% completion percentage. So I think all of his numbers went up. 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 5.4 a carry. Will Levis, 306 yards on the ground. Jawan Jennings, 1,099 yards, 1 yard away from 1,100 yards, and 9 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 934 yards and 5 touchdowns. Alan Lazard, 882 and 8. Brock Bowers doing a little better with 363 and 4 touchdowns. All right, blocking. Roderick Jones wasn't great. We can look to replace him. JPJ 5. I don't know how many of those were on our team. Amarius Mims with only 4. That's great. Jordan Morgan, great. Good. And yeah, so a lot better blocking this year than last year for sure. Tackles, 105 for Fred, 81 for Drew. TFLs, 12 for Christian Barmore, 11 for Latu, 10 for Michael. And then sacks, 13 sacks for Latu. That's what we needed. Michael, 5 sacks, 4.5 for Drew, 2.5 for Arnold, 2 for Barmore, 1 for Isaac Ukwu. And picks, we have 3 for Fred Warner, 2 for Keyshawn Nixon, Riley Moss, and Terrion Arnold, along with 1 pick for Trevin Wallace. All right, so let's look at awards. No MVP, didn't think so. Defensive Player of the Year, 8 for Latu, not mad at that. Best running back, we do win that with Bijan Robinson. That is good. That is really good. Hopefully he gets maybe a dev up or something. We get Peter Skoronsky down there at 8. D-line, we get Latu at 5. Good. 2 for best kicker. Love to see it. All right, well, let's just in 1 week, and let's see if we can beat the Commanders in the wild card round. You know, I don't really expect to win that. We win it 17-10. All right, well, all right, the divisional versus the Rams. Oh, what a game, 34-31. All right, in the NFC Championship, we did not. Okay, so the Giants and Ravens in this year's Super Bowl, almost $200 million to spend. So hopefully this free agency is better. Kyle Hamilton, Brock Bowers, Amarius Mims, Juwan Jennings, Arnold, Drew Tranquill. Kyle Hamilton has 0 interest in us. Perfect. All right, so he's going to be here for... That looks pretty good. All right, perfect. Amarius, you're playing good. Good, perfect. Juwan Jennings, you've been, for some reason, our best receiver. Perfect. Arnold, you've been good. All right. All right, that's all we're going to re-sign. All right, well, let's go look at free agency and see what we can do. All right, so let's look at this free agent class. Hopefully it's better than last ones. How about you, Luke Schoonmaker? Yeah, we're gonna go for Orlando Brown with a 1 year. Hope we get him because I don't think we have any other left tackles. Unless there's somebody really good here. Try and get a little depth there. All right, yeah, we're gonna try and get a Monty Hooker. Upgrade Rashawn Jenkins. So they all sign. We do not get a Monty Hooker, but we get Luke. We get Neville Gallimore and Orlando Brown Jr. So let's just go to the draft and see what the wheel gives us this time. Give it a spin. We land on D tackle. We're going to go Bart Spriggs. He looks a little better and he's faster. So we'll take him ranked 69 in true value, normal dev. And for our round 2 selection, we are going to land on right guard. So let's look for a big guy that we can maybe fit in at tackle. And we're going to stick with Ricky Reese. Hopefully he's good. Rank 55 in true value, hidden dev. All right. He's a good tackle build too, so we can put him at tackle. All right, and let's go ahead and let's get this very last spin for this draft out of the way, and we get fullback. All right, well, that's, yeah, wow. All right, who's the biggest guy? 6'3", 256. Looks like Donovan Bigby. Take him. Ranked 58 in true value, normal dev. I'm not very happy with that, but that's going to end the 3 picks. we keep getting a fullback, and I don't like that very much. All right, well, let's look at this draft recap. We didn't do great in this one, but you know, what are you gonna do? All right, well, all three of our picks were a 72 overall. Let's get to the next year. We still got 93 million. I think we made some minor upgrades. All right, yeah, so we did indeed. Our offensive line is a bunch of 80 stars, so that's pretty good. Should be good for Bijan, who does get up to X Factor, which is great. Still got Kyle Hamilton. We still got Fred Warner. If we really wanted to, we could trade him. Probably not this year. I think on the last year of his contract, we'll trade him. Now let's take this to the midseason and see what we can do this year. All right, at the midseason, we are 4-3. So the same as last year. We'll probably be around 9-8, 10-7 again. It's like we're staying right at that mid spot, but we need to get like a good spin, or we need something to really help us get over that mid hump. So let's see how Will Levis is doing. All right, I think yeah, okay. 1,263 yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks. I think this is going to be his last year. I think I'm done with him. I don't think he's going to do enough to become good. He's going to finish off the season because we have Tanner McKee. But Bijan Robinson, again, so good. 613 yards, 5.9 per carry, and 5 touchdowns. Yeah, we're going to switch up this playbook for sure. We want to give Bijan as many carries as we can because he's averaging 6 yards. He has 5 touchdowns. Alexander Madison, nice little 100 yards and 4 touchdowns. Receiving wise, obviously not going to be too good. T. Higgins finally leads us in receiving yards with no touchdowns. Juwan Jennings, 367 yards, 3 touchdowns. Alan Lazard has 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, 186 and 3. Orlando Brown is bad. We're going to bench him for the rookie. Amarius Mims, not doing great. Peter Skronsky, not doing great. Jordan Morgan, doing good. And Jackson Powers Johnson is also doing very well. Has not allowed a sack yet. Terry and Arnold leads us with tackles, and behind him is Trevor Wallace and Trent Payton. TFL, 6 for Barmore, 4 for Fred, Latu, and Michael. All right, so our sack leader right now is 5 sacks for Arnold, 2.5 for Christian Barmore, Latu, and Michael. 1.5 for Trent Payton, 1 sack for Fred Warner and Trevor Wallace, and half a sack for Kyle Hamilton and Jaden Hicks. And then we have 1 pick for Leatu Latu, Trevin Wallace, Riley Moss, Taryn Arnold, and Brandon Smith. Hoping for a little more, but after this year, we're probably going to change up our playbooks. Might make a big trade, whether that's for somebody or trading away Fred. Good. Peter Skronsky, I want him back 3 years. Okay. T. Higgins, I want you back. All right, perfect. Get a little 4-year deal done with him. I'll just give you a little deal. Alexander, do you want to come back? All right, good. That's all we'll do for now. But let's go ahead and get that rookie guard and put him at left tackle because we are benching Orlando Brown. Well, I guess let's take this to the playoffs and see if we make it again. And okay, and we are 6-11 at the end of this season. So we did get a lot worse. I think it was Will Levis. I mean, only 3,200 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 20 picks. Like, that's just not going to cut it. Bijan got a little worse. His average dipped down 0.7 or 8, I believe. So now he has 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, which is still really good. Will Levis got his little ground game. Juwan Jennings, 950 yards, 5 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 860 and 4. Alan Lazard, 750 and 4. Brock Bowers, 385 yards, 4 touchdowns. Blocking wise, yeah, they're both bad. We're probably going to stick with Ricky Reese just because he's a lot younger. But besides that, not that bad there. Trevin Wallace got a lot of tackles. And then Fred Warner, Terry Arnold. Sacks, 7.5 for Latu, 6.5 for Arnold. 5 for Michael, 2.5 for Trent Payton and Christian Barmore. And then we get 1 sack out of Trevin Wallace, Fred Warner. And then half a sack out of Kyle Hamilton and Jaden Hicks. And then picks. We get 3 from Tarian, 2 for Fred Warner and Riley Moss, and then 1 pick for Latu, Trevin Wallace, LaMichael Coakley, Brandon Smith, Eddie Washington, and Kobe Durant. Best running back, 6 for Bijan. So very bad year for us. A couple of things we got to work on, change up our playbook. We got to really hope to get a new quarterback because that would help a lot. So let's just get right to the offseason and see what we can do. All right, in the Super Bowl, the Jaguars beat the Eagles 28-20. Super Bowl MVP is Lamar. I mean, not Lamar. Joe Burrow. NFL MVP Brock Purdy. Defensive Player of the Year Nick Bosa. Offensive Player of the Year Amon-Ra. I forgot to check the other years, but I'll go ahead and do that now. So, of course, we have the Ravens over the Giants in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl MVP is a defensive end. Cooper Kupp, Offensive Player of the Year. Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year. And then I believe that just leaves us with this year. The Jaguars beat the Commanders 21-10. Kenny Moore gets MVP. Von Miller, Defensive Player of the Year. Really running that back far. Then we got Brandon Ayuk, Offensive Player of the Year. MVP Lamar. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Jared Verse. And Offensive Rookie of the Year is Jaden Daniels. And, of course, that's the real one. All right, let's see who else we have left to re-sign. Peter Skronsky, of course. I'll give you what I did last time. All right, so he's going to be a free agent. We'll probably try and re-sign him for sure. Go 1 week, go into free agency. All right, so in this free agency, we're an 85 overall team. So we are improving. This might be the fun that we wanted. All right, yeah, let's look at the quarterbacks that are here. Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Dak Prescott. Can you fake it? We're not getting Dak. It's one of these two. I think. Anybody else? No. I mean, yeah, I think we're gonna get Justin Fields. I don't think anybody else is gonna try and sign him, so I'll just give him a 1 year. We'll see how he does, and if he proves that he deserves it, then props to him. So Dan Moore Jr. or just Dan Moore in this game. Unlike the Titans, we're not gonna overpay so much to get him. Yeah, I really thought they overpaid way too much for him. I don't think they got any value for how much they paid. Maybe Joel Bitonio. I know he's old too, but I mean, we just got to protect Justin Fields right now. That's all. That's what we really need to do. We don't need D-line. Tyrese Knight is here. Bring him back to Seattle, actually. I would really like him. Maybe we'll get him. I don't know. We'll see. If we don't, I'll go for somebody else. So no good free safeties. All right, I think that's really all we're going to do there. All right, well, we got all these guys on our list. Hopefully we get Tyrese Knight. All right, almost everybody signs. We get Tyrese Knight, Justin Fields, and Dan Moore. So we'll probably put the rookie back at guard. Joe Bitonio didn't sign. He got a big offer from San Francisco. I'll up my offer. I'm sure I'm not going to get him now. Yeah, we're not going to get him. But it's not a big deal. Let's get to the draft and see what the team looks like. All right, well, let's look at this roster. We're an 86 overall, 87 overall offense, I think it said, if I'm not mistaken. So we got our new quarterback in Justin Fields. We got Dan Moore. Let's start Ricky Reese at center. I think his name is Ricky. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see that. We'll try that out at center. Defensively, still looking good. And now we get Tyrese Knight, who knows, maybe he'll be good enough to even replace Fred Warner. Before we do any of that, who has a good run game and uses their tight end? Thinking maybe Baltimore. Yeah, let's try it Detroit. We'll leave the Seahawks defense. It gets us a good amount of picks. We'll try this out for the year. See how Detroit's playbook does on offense. Hopefully, it still gives Bijan his points and involves Brock Bowers a lot. But we'll try that. All right, so in this draft, we pick at pick 6. So let's go ahead. Let's get to our pick. All right, and now let's spin the wheel. Come on, baby. I hate everything. All right, so we were so close to getting quarterback. And there are some decent quarterbacks here, but we get punter. We get a punter. At worst, let's hope it's at least a good punter. Let's get the biggest guy we can. 231 at 5'10". A little chubby build, but let's just take him. Tyson White. All right, round 2. We're going to spin this wheel. Spin, 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 spin. Let's go ahead and pause the draft. And we're going to get defensive tackle at our round 2 pick. I'm not mad at D-tackle. I don't love it, for sure. Earl Kowaleski. That's a name. Let's go find D-tackles. Wow. We are getting the worst luck imaginable. Sydney Barrett. He looks terrible. I'll look at Miles Gibbons, but I'm pretty sure it's a given that we take the other guy. See what I did there. All right, but anyway, RJ Burke is going to be our pick. Rank 68. Okay, normal dev. Wow, we are getting screwed by this wheel. This is not what we needed. But let's go ahead, spin it again for our last pick of this draft. All right, well, let's get ourselves a fullback and get this draft over with because this draft is terrible. Just take the guest guy available, Kevin Bayer. Is he good at least? Rank 73. Hidden dev, 87 speed. All right, well, let's look at this draft recap. We get, so our punter was a 65. Our defensive tackle is a 71 overall. And our fullback, yay, is a 71. Along with Junior Bradshaw, a corner that the CPU got us. Normal dev, he's a 71. He's definitely not going to start at all for us, but, you know. Let's go ahead. Let's get to the next year. And, yeah. Let's check out our roster with our new hidden dev fullback. Alright, so this is our roster. We're definitely starting the hidden dev fullback. We'll upgrade all these players. Wide receiver room still looks pretty good. Hopefully our run game is good, because now we got Justin Fields too, so he can get out of the pocket. Have not gotten a safety to replace Rashawn Jenkins. I keep forgetting to do that, but it's alright. Let's take this and let's advance to the mid-season and see what we're looking like there. Alright, at the mid-season, we are 0-7. How can that be? Justin Fields throwing for 1,444 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 11 picks. Rushing, Bijan, 4.6 a carry, 435 yards, and 1 touchdown. Receiving, not great. 382 for Jawan, 330 for T, and 300 for Bowers. The blocking, not terrible. 4 for Mims, Blake Bolden, Dan Moore, 2 sacks allowed for Jordan Morgan. Defensively, 5 TFLs for Latu, 4 for Arnold and Michael, 3 for, Michael Copley, 2 for Fred, Trevin, and Christian. 2.5 sacks for Latu, 2 sacks for Arnold, Fred, Trevin Wallace, Christian Barmore, and then half a sack for Tyrese Knight. And we have 1 pick from our 60-something overall, Rashawn Jenkins. Yeah, so we're going to switch our playbook again. Let's try out Baltimore. Let's try Baltimore. Because, I mean, Justin Fields and Lamar, Bijan, Derrick Henry. Then, I got D. Higgins, who could be the Zay Flowers. Jawan Jennings is hurt, too. He's out for 6 weeks. Alright, guys, so let's try Baltimore's playbook. Well, I don't know if this is going to lead, this rebuild is going to even get to a Super Bowl. Alright, well, we changed our playbook. We finished 5-12. Okay, over the second half, Justin Fields looked a lot better. Now he's at 3,600 yards, 23 touchdowns to 18 picks. Bijan almost had 1,000 yards with 993. Justin Fields had 582 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. Bijan had 10 touchdowns. That's what we want. That's really what we wanted to see out of them. Oh, I like this a lot more. Brock Bowers with 960 yards and 7 touchdowns. We needed him to break out, and he did. T. Higgins, 650 and 3. Juwan Jennings, 560 yards and 1 touchdown. Alan Lazard, 541 and 5. Luke Schoonmaker, 470 and 4. And then Bijan had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns receiving. Blocking, Dan Moore was really bad. Amaris Mims was pretty bad. Blake Bolden was very bad. Jordan Morgan was good. Jackson Powers-Johnson was good. So we'll try and fix up that O-line. I knew it was going to be worse this year. But 12 TFLs from Latu, 10 from Arnold and Michael, 6 from Trevin Wallace, 5 for Fred and Bart Spriggs. Sacks, we get 9.5 sacks out of Latu, 8 from Michael Hoach, 5 for Trevin Wallace, 2.5 for Arnold Fred, and then 2 for Christian Barmore, 1 for Keenan Wilcox, nice, and half a sack for Tyrese Knight. And then we get 1 pick from Fred Warner, Rashawn Jenkins, and Terrion Arnold. So not great, but I think if they can play like they did the second half of this year, next year, all of next year, I think we can make another deep run. I really do believe that. But let's get to the offseason. Hopefully this free agency will be actually good. We can spend some money and actually make some moves to try and get a Super Bowl for this team. All right, well, sadly, we all knew this time was going to come, but Bijan Robinson needs a new contract. And I'm going to give him a lot of money because I want him to come back, and he does. Let's go. Wow, we really needed him to come back. He's the main part of our offense. He's our main guy. Riley Moss, you've been pretty good. I'll give you a 3-year deal. Light little bag. Yes, sir. Take your money. All right, and then Jackson Powers Johnson. I'll give you 5 years, 7 million salary, 6 million for bonus. That's good. And I know that was like a long deal, but he's developing and he's playing very good for us. Jordan Morgan, I'd love to have you back. You're playing great. I'll give you this deal. You know what? I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. That's a lot cheaper than what he wanted before, so I'm going to take that while he still wants to do it. Christian, you're getting old. All right. Didn't think he was going to accept that, honestly. LaMichael Coakley, we'll take you back. You know, for getting so many fullback spins, it's not even like we have a good fullback. Like, we just have a couple mid fullbacks. So it's not even like something I can put at like backup running back or do anything fun with. But now in this free agency, we have $45 million. And who's surprised? There is nobody here. Okay, Chris Jones, actually. I will try and get him to come to the team. Because that's actually good. Like, Chris Jones, I know he's old, but I want him to come back. Oh, shoot. No, Michael. Michael, you are definitely coming back. Alright, besides that, free safety, we need to get a safety. I am getting safety. Now, Kalen Bullock would be a great safety to fill that hole. I know it's not realistic, but I'm not doing a realistic rebuild. I'll probably do that next. I think next, I'll probably do a Steelers rebuild with Jalen Ramsey because that trade just happened. Comment down below what you would want to see me do for a rebuild next. We do not get really anybody, so we can go for Vita Vea, I guess. Try and get him. Oh, if I get both of them, I'm going to be sad. I'm sad. Alright, well, we have a good D-tackle room, I guess. Very old. So we got 2 D-tackles and a kicker. Again, not really getting any good free agencies. I'm hoping we'll get a good one soon, which should help our team a lot because we have a little bit of money left over. We're really running out of money, and it's not even like our team's like getting really good. He's going down. He just started dipping. So let's see what we can get for him. Let's see what the offers are. I'd really like another receiver, and of course offensive line. I don't want somebody who I'm going to have to pay because I don't have a lot of money. So I want somebody who like has a couple years left. All right, well I think we're just going to keep Fred Warner until about the midseason. If he's playing really good, then we'll trade him away because I have high value. And if he's not playing good, then well, either way, we're going to trade Fred Warner away at this midseason. So let's spin it. And we are going to get left tackle. All right, well, I think we really have only one option here, Frank Watson. It would be just too much of a reach to almost even consider it. So he's ranked 100. What is where? Because like we keep getting it, and it's like, oh, left tackle, we need that. But then it's just only bad ones. Like they just won't give us a good one. All right, so we're gonna get free safety here. Okay, I think Quan Hurts looks good, and he has hidden dev, 87 speed. So we'll spin this again. That's my bad. For the third round, and we are going to get left tackle again. I think we're going to take Kyle Thomas or Brent Whalen just purely based off of size. We'll just take him. Pass protector, 6'7", rank 284. Dang. All right. Like bro, I promise I'm good at drafting whenever I can like pick. It's like this wheel is screwing me over, man, and I don't know what to do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. That's what I hate. All right, so Frank Watson, our left tackle, is a 73. Quan Hurts, the safety, is a 73, and we know he has hidden depth, 21. So that's really good. So he should be good for us. The left tackle is a 64. The CPU got us a 70 wide receiver, a 69 rated tight end, a 64 left end, and a 66 right end. All right, so overall wise, we're an 87 overall. On paper, we are a good team. We'll see how Justin Fields performs. That tight end has hidden, so that's good. Defensively, Kyle Hamilton has getting worse, and we're gonna trade away Fred. Sadly, he's not doing much for us. Let's get to the midseason, and let's see if anything good we can do. I'm hoping to get more wins than last year at least. All right, at the midseason. All right, we're 2-5. You know, this is very bad. This challenge is very challenging. We're not doing a lot. You know, it's hard to make good upgrades when the free agency sucks, and we're not getting good spins. Justin Fields is terrible. 973 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7 picks. Rushing, Bijan's still doing great. Receiving, Brock Bowers 300 yards. I don't even want to look at this stuff. God, the blocking's bad. Doing good defensively. Defensively, we're doing good. Uh, we're doing really bad right now. I don't want to get picks because we can't trust the picks right now. Or should I try and trade him for a quarterback? Okay, you know what? Let's try and do this. Let's try and trade him for a quarterback. Give us Al McCormick. Give us your quarterback. And then give us a second. Alright, so let's try this. It doesn't go through. Okay. So what? Alright. So we are trading for that quarterback. And we lose Fred Warner. So let's just really hope that this guy can turn this around for us, because that's really what we need right now. I'm low-key scared. Alright, we go 7-10. Let's just look at this as I'm not going to judge him off of this year. He still needs to do good, and that's what we need. And I know a lot of that was probably on Buffalo, but almost 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 picks. Bijan back up there, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, 5.4 a carry. Brock Bowers, 785 and 1. Anton Beeson, 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 556 and 2. Juwan Jennings, 415 and 3. So let's try and really build this team around those guys. All right, well, obviously, after the trade for that new quarterback, we did have a little bit better of a season, so I think that he can really help us out. And I think he'll help us to get that Super Bowl that we need. But as we see, went 10-7. So let's just get right to the offseason, see who wins the Super Bowl. And yeah, not a great season. All right, so we got some people to resign here. 15 players. Ooh, Latu, Trent Payton. We definitely want you back. You're 28. I'll give you 4 years. I'll give you a big deal. We need him back. Trent Payton. He's been pretty good for us. So, I mean, I'd like to bring him back for sure. He does come back, so that's great for us. Art Spriggs. Let's go ahead and accept that 5th year. We'll try and get Luke back for just like a 1-year deal. Lower the money a little bit. All right, so he's leaving. That's not that big of a deal. All right, yeah, we won't re-sign anybody else. All right, so with $43 million left, let's see what this free agent class looks like. There we go. There's a little bit of actual free agency vibe. Ooh, okay, so Fred Warner's a free agent. We could get a reunion going on there. And a receiver, so let's try and get George Coleman here. He looks pretty good. Try and get him. He'd be a good pair with T. Higgins. We're second. We'll just hope that we get him. Damian Lewis. We do really need a left guard, so I'll give him a 1-year. I'll give him a good amount of money. All right, so we're winning for him. One that we can sign. Braylon Trice. Bring him back. A little reunion. And then we're almost out of money. That'll fix our Damian Lewis, Braylon Trice. We don't get the receiver. Okay, so he went to the Cowboys. Are there any other wide receivers that are enticing to bring in? Okay. I really still want to walk away from this free agency with a receiver, so let's go for Dontavian Wick. If we don't get him, so let's try and get Sky Moore. I mean, he'd still be an upgrade. All right, so we get Sky Moore, small receiver upgrade. We don't have much money left, so let's just go to the draft and see what we can do. All right, so right now, let's just pray that we don't get fullback again because that has been haunting us. Strong safety. And we're in round 2 because we traded away our round 1 pick. But strong safety. Mike Quinton, the best projected one. He looks he looks okay. Hybrid A awareness. So he'll probably be good overall with that A awareness. Yeah, we're gonna go Terrell Weber here. He looks pretty decent. Might put him at corner. Rank 95, hidden dev, 90 speed. Alright, so we'll go to the 4th round here because we're making 3 picks still. So we spin it, and we're gonna get quarterback QB, who's just the best overall prospect here. All right, well, it's gonna be Peter Downing, round 3 to 4 talent, rank 92, got him at 76, normal dev, and we get kicker. Oh, let's look at these kickers. We'll just take the best guy available, Luke Bayer. All right, so draft recap. Let's look at this. So our safety was a 72. The quarterback was a 72, the kicker was a 65, and the CPU went out and got us a 72 running back and a 74 corner. Let's get to the start of next year and let's put this team together and try and go make a run because I think I think we should be at the point where we can start trying to do that. Now we have a great running back duo. Still just a solid receiver room. Defensively, Weber. I don't want him just like sitting behind them. So let's see what he is at corner. We'll start him since he has that hidden dev. You know, I really think we have a good chance of doing something with this team. Because we have Bijan on that long-term contract. But let's get to the midseason and see what we're working with. All right. Okay. All right. We are 4-2 at the midseason point. Brian Stewart, 1,580 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 picks, completing 71% of his passes. So that's good. Bijan, 459 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5.4 a carry. T. Higgins with 520 yards, 3 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, 420 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sky Moore, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Anton Beeson with 170 and 1. And then blocking wise, Jackson Powers Johnson has led up 2. Same with Frank Watson and Damian Lewis. And then Amarius Mims and Jordan Morgan have led up 1 each. So that's good. Tackles, Tyrese Knight, Terrell Weber, Braylon Trice. Terrell Weber, I guess for a safety, he probably would be good at tackling. Sacks, Latu has 6 sacks at the midseason, 2.5 for Braylon Trice and BJ Burke, 2 for Bart Spriggs, 1.5 for Christian Barmore, and half a sack for Drew Sanders. 1 pick for Drew Sanders, Terran Arnold, and Kyle Hamilton. Now that we don't have Justin Fields, we should probably get out of Baltimore's playbook. Let's go to Atlanta, because that'll really get Bijan involved, and it should get a good amount to our tight end and T. Higgins. All right, so let's get to the playoffs and see what we're working with. We go 11-6, make the playoffs, and that is really the step up that we needed with this team. It took a minute, but now we're here and we're playing good. Brian Stewart, 4,167 yards, 35 touchdowns to only 7 picks, completed 68% of his passes. All right, Bijan, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns, averaging 5.8 per carry. He did fumble twice, not that big of a deal. Receiving-wise, T. Higgins, 1,325 yards and 10 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, 760 yards and 6 touchdowns. Anton Beeson, 723 and 7. Sky Moore had 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. And then Bijan, 347 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then a touchdown for Khalil Coles, Javier Dobson, and Dennis Peely. Blocking, all right, the tackles were mid. I'm not going to lie. JPJ was pretty mid. Damian Lewis was kind of mid. Jordan, it wasn't bad. I'm not going to complain about it. 12 TFLs for Latu, 9 for Barmore and Spriggs, 7 for Braylon Trice. 14 sacks for Latu, 8 sacks for Braylon Trice. Wow, he really stepped up for being just somebody who was supposed to be a bridge guy. 7 for Bart Spriggs, 4.5 for Barmore, 3.5 for RJ Burke, 1.5 for Drew Sanders, 1 for Trent Payton, Tyrese Knight, and then half a sack for Cordell Mackey. And then for picks, Kyle Hamilton with 3, Tyrese Knight with 2, Drew Sanders with 1, Sidney Moore with 1, and same with Terry and Arnold. First, we got to take on the Eagles. We are the better team. And, of course, we lose. 13 players to re-sign. Amarius Mims, Drew Sanders. We can let Drew Sanders go. We'll want LaMichael Coakley, Damian Lewis. Will you come back on a 1-year deal? Okay. Let's go for Amarius Mims. He wants to come back, so we'll give him what he wants. Good. All right, well, we got a piece back. We really want to keep this team together as much as we can. Let's check out free agency. Try and get a stud on defense. Patrick Mahomes, Devon Achane, Jordan Battle. We don't have a lot of money, so there's not a lot we can go for. So let's try and get some like good, cheaper deals. So we'll go for him. Let's try and get AJ Brown. It would be a good piece to go next to T. Higgins, or his only offer so far. Let's just go for cheap deal here. We do need another middle linebacker to replace the guy we just lost. And I mean, Trevin Wallace, star dev, still 27. We'll give him an offer. And we do. Okay, so now our offense should be really good. We got another linebacker. So yeah, let's get to the draft. See what we can do there. All right, so round 1, we have pick 23. We're spinning. And we're going to get right guard. Rank 17 in true value. Okay, so we got ourselves a steal. So he's probably going to start for us at left guard for sure. Okay, so our round 2 pick, hoping for defense. And we're going to spin left tackle. Okay, because now we're getting more offensive line, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at it. We're just going to take the day 3 guy because I'm not going to go scout UDFAs. Rank 263, normal dev. All right, so let's spin it for our 3rd round pick. And we are going to land on right. All right, that's perfect. That's exactly what we needed. Hopefully we can find a stud here. If not, we should be okay. Rank 224, hidden dev. All right, so our right guard that we got was a 75 overall. The left tackle was a 65. Craig Barker, that right end, is 66. All right, still very good offense. All right, so at this mid-season, a little dip here. We're 3-4. Well, Brian Stewart, 1,480 yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 picks. Not as great as last time. Bijan was hurt. Okay. 40 carries, 194 yards, 4.81 touchdown. Dennis Peele was not great to back him up. Receiving, T. Higgins still doing great, 558 and 9. Brock Bowers, almost 300 yards and 1 touchdown. Dang, T. Higgins took all the touchdowns. Sacks, our whole offensive line is bad, all letting up 5 and 4. Not great tackles. Mid sacks, and then not a lot of picks. So let's get to the playoffs, and we should make it, but let's see. All right, so we end this season 8 and 9. Brian Stewart really fell off, 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, 9 picks. Bijan, 650 and 9 touchdowns, average 6 a carry. So we really need to get Bijan all the touches we can. T. Higgins, 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 700 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Sky Moore, 600 yards and 3 touchdowns. All right, so blocking, our offensive line was terrible. I don't really know what to say about that. There's not much I can do to change that. Really not much sack production. 3 picks from Kyle Hamilton and Quan Hurts. 2 from Tyrese Knight. 1 from Trevin Wallace, Terran Arnold, and Sidney Moore. So got some picks. Just a classic Madden down year. Like it just happens every time in Madden. Probably gonna have to make some big changes to this offense and defense. You know, we don't have much money. We're one of the best teams in the NFL, but we're still, for some reason, just not able to make it. Like, we're barely making the playoffs. Let's see, we have $110 million here. I'm hoping it's not our quarterback. All right, so it's Brock Bowers, Terry Arnold, Tyrese Knight, Bart Spriggs. T. Higgins, yeah, it's going to be their last year, bud. You're falling off. Frank Watson. Okay, good. We get Brock Bowers back for a while. Terrian, I mean, you're our best defensive player. Glad to get you back for 3 years. We'll accept Frank Watson's 5th year. He's been solid. We'll just give all these cheap deals out, try and get them back, because we need our depth. All right, so we're heading into free agency with $66 million. Hopefully it's a good one. Ooh, Bijan is regressing. He's went down 7 overalls. So let's try and trade Bijan. We don't want picks because those aren't trustworthy. So we'll try and get receiver. We'll try and get a running back. We'll try and get some defensive linemen. All right, there we go. So we're sending Bijan, a 3rd, and a couple extra picks for a younger, good running back and a young, good receiver to the Steelers. So now we should still be good. We want another receiver. I might just let Frank Watson pick up the left tackle unless we roll that. So I think with our money, we're going to go for defense because this defense, I think, is holding us back. I think we really need to go all in right here. I mean, let's try and get him. Let's go for Myles Garrett. I know it's a lot of money. Maybe a little Joey Porter. Get us a little better of a DB room. And then let's look at receiver. Try and find like maybe a little star dev type of guy. Let's go for Joe Estrada. He has a massive head. Okay, we're probably not going to get him. I'll give him a little more, but I don't want to go over 3 years. So we send them through, and we get Myles Garrett, Jerzon Newton, and Joey Porter. So we don't get the receiver. I'm not mad at that. Our receivers should be fine because we have the main one. And then defensively, that helps a lot. Because once Kyle Hamilton's back, our linebackers are solid. And with the addition of Jerzon Newton and Myles Garrett on this D-line, Joey Porter, we have a good secondary. Our D-line is old, except Latu really, but it really should perform well. So let's get to the draft. Round 1, pick 16. Got the wheel, spinning it, and we get wide receiver. No way! No way! Yo, this could be massive. Yeah, we're going to take Joey Brinkley here. Rank 16 in true value. And, of course, he has normal dev. You know what? I ain't even mad. And now we got round 2. Round 2. We're spinning. And we get free safety. Because he's a run stopper, but he also has the best like zone coverage and stuff. So we're going to take Marvin Rudd. Ranked 54 in true value. Normal dev. Again, I wish he was hidden, but I'm not going to complain about a good piece to add to this defense that's already pretty stacked. All right, so we don't have a round 3 pick, but we will take round 4, and we get receiver again. Ranked 130 in the class, normal dev, but that gives us depth. All right, so this team is looking good. Not the best depth at receiver, but we have a lot of solid guys. And then we have our wide receiver one, we have our tight end, we have our quarterback, we have a good young running back. The offensive line is still good, and I mean, defensively, I mean, we're just looking good. So let's get to the midseason and see what happens. All right, at the midseason, 3-3, because at this point we really just need to get the best stuff that we can. Myles Garrett's still upgrading. That's good for us. We want Jordan Morgan back for sure. Okay, perfect. All right, so good. We get him back very long term. I think let's look at the stats, and if Kyle Hamilton's doing really good, then we'll keep him. But we just need to check how we're doing. So Brian Stewart, 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, 2 picks. So he's doing great, 72% completion percentage. I think I messed something up in the depth chart because Dennis Peel shouldn't be our starting running back. That might be why we're 3-3. But very spread out targets. I respect that. 300 for Bowers, Brinkley, and Rashard Miller. 1 touchdown for Miller, 6 for Brinkley, 3 for Brock Bowers, and then Clyde Coles with 4. Okay, what is that? That is disgusting for both of our left tackles. Pretty bad for the right tackle. The interior, of course, is still doing good. Wow, we are getting no sacks, but we are getting some picks. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and change up our playbooks. Let's go ahead. Let's go for an explosive offense. Let's try out the Bengals offense because we should have that explosive offense. So let's go for them on offense, and then defensively, let's try out Dallas. Let's try out the Dallas Cowboys because they should have a good defense. And let's get to the playoffs and hope that our problems get fixed from those couple of changes. All right, there we go. We end the season 11-6. So that's massive. So our guys really stepped up. I think it was our run game. Brian Stewart, 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 7 picks only. Rushing wise, Claire, 4.6 a carry, 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. That's what we needed out of him. Had 1,259 yards and 20 touchdowns. Rashard Miller, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Clyde Coles, 807. Brock Bowers, 704. Deion Sinclair. All right, so that left tackle's done. I'm done with him. Frank Watson, you're gone. Amaris Mims, pretty solid. And then very good for the rest of them. Defensively, Myles Garrett, 7.5 sacks, 6 for Jer'Zhan Newton. Picks, 4 for Sidney Moore, Joey Porter, Terry and Arnold, and Quan Hurts. 1 pick for Trent Payne, Trevor Wallace, and Kyle Hamilton. So getting a lot of picks, getting more sacks, and then Trevor Wallace with 109 tackles, 2 sacks, and a pick. So he's just all around been good. So let's hope we beat the 49ers in the wild card here, and we lose. We can just not do it in the playoffs. All right, so let's do this last season. I mean, we're one of the best teams in the league going into like year 8. We just can't win a playoff game for some reason. All right, so 58 million. We forgot to trade away Kyle Hamilton, but he's still good. So we're gonna trade away him. Myles Garrett, I would love to bring back. Ryan Stewart has X Factor. Jackson Powers Johnson goes up to Superstar. Brinkley with Superstar. So we're gonna put him up. Defensively, still got most of our guys. Moore with Stars, so I'm gonna bring him up in the depth chart. He's gonna give us 18 million more dollars. I'm not mad. You know, you hate to see such a good player leave. We'll try and re-sign him for sure. How much money do you want? Not much. All right, I respect. I'll give you a little deal. Trent Hale, and then we might as well just spend all of our money. Let's try and get another D tackle, because then we can have a really good D line. All right, let's try and see if we get these guys. Okay, so we get Thomas and Trent Hale. I mean, let's go for this guy, Will Coles. He'd be a good second guy. We get him. Let's hope we get a good draft because this is going to be our last year for sure. But let's see. So round 1, pick 20. We're gonna go ahead and spin the wheel, and we are going to land on kicker. get our kicker out of the way. Alright, so let's spin it again. Get into the second round now. And wow, we get fullback after kicker. All I need is a safety, man. Again, I'm not going to waste time looking at these guys. Come on, give me something. Quarterback. Okay, so this wasted all of our picks. Take the projected UDFA, Joseph Chandler. Ranked 168, normal dev. He's not even good, though. Like, come on, at least give us somebody good. Okay, well, that might have been our worst set of spins ever. We have a hole at safety, but you know what? Let's try and make a trade. I mean, we got 1 year. Come on, let's go out here. And this is our last year. So let's try and make a trade for a guy. All right, let's try and trade for Rudy Moss. They almost accepted. So let's just throw in our picks. All right, there we go. I know it's kind of cheesy a little bit, but I mean, it's our last season. We really just need to get it done. So that helps out our defense a lot. I know it's a little cheesy just to trade for a guy like that, but I mean, we're trying to win a Super Bowl. All right, at the midseason, we're 3-3. Brian Stewart not playing great, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 picks, so pretty good actually. I take back what I said. St. Clair not performing, 3.5 a carry, receiving solid, blocking solid, defensively. Myles Garrett with 5 sacks, 4 for Will Coles, 3 for Newton, 2 picks for Rudy Moss, 1 for Sidney Moore. All right, so let's go ahead and let's just sim to the playoffs and hope we make it. Because if we don't, then I mean, for having such a good team, I mean, they're not producing very well. So let's just hope. All right, so 11-6 is how we finish off. Brian Stewart, 4,400 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 7 picks. Excuse me. Dion, 712 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 yards per carry. So not great, but got 9 touchdowns. 3 1,000-yard receivers. So Jacob Goodwill, Joey Brinkley, Rashard Miller all get over 1,000 yards. And then 10, 6, 9 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, almost 700 yards with 6 touchdowns. And then Geo Vick, Deion Sinclair, Derek Kennard got a couple touchdowns too. A lot better offensive line play. And Myles Garrett is going to get a 16.5 sacks, 10.5 from Will Coles, 9.5 from Derzon Newton, 6 from Trent Payton, 4 from Latu, 2.5 from Stevie Picard, 1.5 for Trevin Wallace, 1 for Sidney Moore and Dorian Triplett, and then half a sack for Calvin Elam. And then we get 4 picks out of Trevin Wallace and Sidney Moore, 3 for Rudy Moss, 2 for Terrion Arnold and Jadarius Milner, and then 1 for Marvin Rudd. So most of our signings actually produced well, which is good. So let's sim this week and see how we do. All right, so we win that game. So now we're the divisional versus the 49ers. Oh, Jackson Powers Johnson is going to be hurt, so he'll be back if we make it to the Super Bowl. So let's sim this game and see if we make it. All right, so we do win. So in the NFC Championship, in our last season, we faced the Carolina Panthers right before the Super Bowl. So let's sim to the Super Bowl and see if we make it. We end it in the NFC Championship game. See how we perform. Brian Stewart, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Took 2 sacks. Rushing wise, Sinclair did not do well. Receiving, Rashard Miller got his yards, no touchdowns. 2 for Jacoby Goodwill. Blocking, 2 sacks allowed. 1 from Andrew Thomas, 1 from Jake Unger. It sucks when you don't have Jackson Powers Johnson because he really did carry us a lot. A sack out of Trevin Wallace, Will Coles, and Latu. No, 1 pick out of Marvin Rudd. But that's going to be the end of this rebuild. The wheel really did not help us out a lot. Obviously, it's a challenge, so it challenged us, especially with that last draft. But let's just go 1 second and let's see who wins the Super Bowl. Might as well see what awards we're giving out as well. See if we win anything. I think we could have gotten MVP. 32 season recap. So the Texans win it. Tua, a Super Bowl MVP. We don't get any awards. Danny Hamilton on the Chargers is going to win MVP. Quentin Johnston, Offensive Player of the Year on the Cowboys. Andrew McCulloch, Vikings Defensive Player of the Year. Emmett Lehman, Offensive Rookie of the Year on the Steelers. And then Ricardo Philbin, Defensive Rookie of the Year on the Patriots. So sadly, I mean, we built a great team. Just couldn't get it done here. But that's a shame. So yeah, please, like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see next. And yeah, thank y'all.